Okay. We're gonna call this one disassemble of the donor. The past 5 or 6 days I've been working on tearing this thing apart. I got it pretty much ready. I've already started cutting the floor out. You see that line that I cut it on. I'm gonna cut it all down the side right there all along, go up into the firewall, cut across, and do the same. And then that way, all this frame, roof, and windshield are all lift off with it. I'll have to probably cut some of this stuff up. But yeah, I took the interior out, all the fenders off. Those are the inner fender pieces. I'm gonna keep those. I cut those off right here. They went from here and back to there. But all this stuff, you know, battery trays and my brake stuff all bolt onto it. I've got it all tied up right now. Computer, brake stuff, fuse box. So I'll graft it to the old ones. But that's where I'm at. I'll probably trim some more of this off on the front. I know it's kind of dark in my shop right now. But I'll probably just leave the top, come down and underneath, and I'll just lop off this stuff right there where those bolts are, because it's bolted, but it's also tacked. Other than that, yeah, it's ready to cut off. And I measured from this bolt hole up here to that one back here, and it is the same length as this older truck. Now the only difference is, you see this floor comes up on a hump, and then it goes even higher to the back mounting spot. And you know, on the donor it comes up, but then it drops off to the back mounting spot. So my guess is when I set the cab down, I'm going to end up having to cut here and welding, you know, this right here, or maybe right here, to get that little ridge. And what that ridge is for is, if you can see, the back seat did it too. Right where this nifty flashlight is. That's where the frame comes up on this truck. It's hard to see with it, but you could see the frame ridges up right there. And it did the same on the single cab. And that's why it had a little hump in the back. So I'm gonna try to replicate that, but I gave myself enough room. You know, I'm cutting, that's 4 or 5 inches behind it. See, and I've already got this line cut. I've already got it cut right on this seam where the rocker meets the floor. And I'll just do the same thing. Come on all the way up. Come all the way up. And then cut right below that windshield. And then I'll cut these tabs off for the dash. That's another thing. Pulling the dash out was difficult because this truck had aftermarket lights front and back, aftermarket system, a bunch of aftermarket stuff. I didn't know where. I ended up cutting a bunch of stuff because I'm not going to put that stuff back in here. But if you ever have to do this on this 05, which I'm sure it's from 03 or 04 up, you have to pull that out, and all the wiring goes with the dash. And this is where let me get the light. This is where it all, see, that's where it goes through the firewall. This is what all it connects to. And then you see those tabs, they get pushed up into that, and they fit underneath that. The other one, that wiring harness, you can disconnect from the dash. It's only those 3 plugs right there. Then you have the shifter. You can still use this, you know, it's in park. Oh, I think it's in drive. But yeah, you can still use that, and I'm just gonna leave all that stuff connected, just cut around it. I'll figure out when I go to weld it, I'm gonna tack it in certain spots, then I'm gonna lift the cab back off and disconnect all that stuff and tack it from outside. Yeah, I mean, there's not much else to show. I'm gonna list all the parts on eBay. I mean, on Facebook, because I want to try to make some of this money. But look, this is the rat nest that the previous owner had, and you know, they did one of these. Look at that, a butt connector, another butt connector, and then we just twisted wires together. Yeah, and these are all the relays for the lights. At least they put relays in. But they, you know, they chewed this box up and put one of these, you know, you put, I don't know what you call this, but it jabs in there and it's got fuses and whatever. But I'm gonna have to redo some of this stuff. But yeah, this came all out together as one piece. It was heavy. I was in a bind for a little bit, and had to make a phone call. But this is the, you know, there's the firewall connection. Those are those plugs I showed you underneath. So, and then you use a screwdriver and push it through. But you want all that to stay with the dash when you pull the dash out. And then, of course, there's a bolt here, another one here, those 3 across, and then on the other side, there were 3 on the other side. It was, there was 2 here, and there was some kind of bracket here that was also connected to it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know what else to really update on, except I've already cut some of the floor. I got to go to work tomorrow night. Yeah, so I still need to get the bed off. Once I get the bed off, then I can. I'm not decided when I'm going to start cutting the bottom out of that. You know, because I got to take the fuel lines, the tank out, and all that stuff. Because I'm not doing a 4-door long bed. Remember, I'm cutting the frame down, and so I'll probably just concentrate on the bed, getting the bed off, and all that stuff, and cut the floor. And then, if I got enough time, my next 7 off, I'll cut that out, set it, just test fit it. Anyways, that's the update.